So just wanted to give my first impressions on the Street Fighter V beta. This is the third phase of the beta here. I didn't, unfortunately wasn't given a key until this third version. So my top tier character of Ken isn't in this one. So I've been pretty useless. I find it weird that they've gotten rid of the Ultra meter. I thought that was a bit strange. They've replaced it with this this V meter, and they've kept the X meter from Street Fighter 4. And so basically you've got to fill up the V meter as well as the X meter to do a super. So they made the supers a little bit more challenging to do. To be honest, I don't know how I feel about that. I suppose competitively speaking it's a better move, but I think just for the enjoyment of like casual players, it's probably going to steer them away from the series. I quite like the graphical style. I know it's a beta, so it's a little bit grainy. But I'm glad they've gotten away from the heavy inks that were prevalent on the characters in Street Fighter 4. I like that at the beginning of in this beta, I don't know if it was in Phase 1 or Phase 2 of beta testing, but in Beta 3 here, it starts off with Street Fighter 1. You've got Ken and Ryu, and so Ryu's in his Street Fighter 1 costume. So he's got the lighter hair, and he's got the very clean gi, and they're training with Gorkin. And I thought that was a nice introduction. They treat that as a tutorial as well, so it's like a precursor to Street Fighter 1. In the chronology, I don't know where Street Fighter 5 sits, but just looking at how Ryu looks, it's got to be somewhere around Street Fighter 4. Whether or not it's a sequel or a prequel, I don't know just yet. But this game seems to, just in terms of mechanics, seems to rely heavily on counters. I've been playing online and getting my ass handed to me, to be quite honest, and it seems to be very, very reliant on counters. So I don't know how, again, that's a mechanics choice. I don't know how I feel, but I don't think it's anything bad. And again, I think it's definitely more for the competitive scene. This will be a Street Fighter that I don't see many casuals picking up. It's not going to be like Tekken, where casuals will always be able to play Tekken with their friends and family members for couch multiplayer. But this is definitely, looking at it, I see it's going to be mostly for the pro crowd. They're emphasizing online play, but not in a negative way. It's not like the new Battlefront with Star Wars, where multiplayer is pretty much the only thing you can do. There's still single solo play. There's still, though not currently available in the beta, there's still local 2-player, so couch multiplayer. So it's by no means bad. I just think it's definitely going to push away casuals, which I suppose when you look at people who are really competitive with Street Fighter, they hate casuals anyway. But I think just in terms of the game doing well on a financial level, I think it's good to be able to cater towards casuals. So I think the removal of the Ultra meter, I don't see it as a good move. But again, in the competitive scene, it's probably going to definitely play a key role in its appeal in the competitive scene. I personally have been trying quite a lot to try and figure out how to do supers, and there's a lot of learning, and I've definitely got to train. So I think more along the sides is my own skill set. Like in this beta, I haven't been the best, as opposed to with Street Fighter 4, where especially if you've seen my playthroughs with Ken, I've definitely got a lot of strong backbone with one character, and that's a flaw for myself. So one character I can see myself wanting to learn and getting pro with is Charlie. Not just because I got my ass handed to me by Charlie players, but just because it's interesting to see a character who's been away from the franchise for a long time coming back and being given very similar movesets to when he was last in the series, but also additions that are quite interesting. He's very counter heavy as well, so he's not like Zangief, where Zangief is all about throws. Pretty much his entire moveset is throws, apart from the Cyclone move. So I think all in all, my first impression of it is it's going to push away casuals, but that in no way means it's a bad game. There's definitely going to be a huge learning curve to it, and it's going to be something that you're going to have to spend sleepless nights practicing to get good at. And it's probably not a bad thing, especially if you want to do it competitively and you want to do it in the competition circuit, you want to be doing it for money. Then I think this will be one of those games that really pushes you as a pro gamer. So yeah, all in all, I'd say from what I've seen, it's been quite good. I do wish I was part of Phase 2 so that I could get used to Ken, just because Ken's my homeboy. I've been using him since Street Fighter 2. But this game has definitely taught me that relying on one character is bad, especially since Ken's not available in this phase. So I've had pretty much no way to be any use online. I've just been getting my ass handed to me. So definitely this one will be for people who want to be, I suppose, spending a lot of time playing just one game, and a fighting game at that. So yeah, I think it's interesting. Some weird choices there. I'm liking the idea that you can fight people playing it on PC at the same time, so there's multi-platform support in the online circuit. I don't know how that's going to work though, because PC players, they've got stronger hardware than us PS4 players. They're probably going to kick our ass. So I don't know where that's going to leave the series. I'm interested to see the final release. It's coming out in 2 months. And yeah, I think overall, I'm not really into giving things a rating, but I'd say from my personal experience, it's definitely, it's a 9, it's a solid fighter. A 9 out of 10 that is, it's a solid fighter. It's definitely showed me that relying on one character is terrible, and I'm going to have to learn to play as other people. So yeah, alrighty, so that's me. Catch you later.